Welcome back to Insights That Matters, your deep dive into, all sorts of fascinating topics. Today, we're going to be untangling the world of renewable energy, right?
Sounds exciting.
Yeah. I mean, this is a pretty hot topic these days.
Yeah.
And to help us make sense of it all, we have, a Trump biz when it comes to financial reports and all that.
Happy to be here. I'm always excited to kind of delve into those reports, see what the numbers tell us.
So a lot of you have been asking for a closer look at Premier Energies, this Indian solar company.
Right.
They've been generating a lot of buzz lately. And boy, do their numbers paint an interesting picture. We're talking about revenue growth, the kind that would make even the most seasoned investor raise an eyebrow.
Yeah, it's impressive.
A whopping 121.4% increase year on year.
Yeah, that's right. And it's not just growth for, growth's sake. They've seen their profits surge. Their EBITDA margin, which, for those who may not know, is a measure of how efficiently they're turning revenue into profit, has jumped from 15.25% to a healthy 26.19%.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Let's put that into perspective for our listeners in India.
Right.
We're talking about a company that pulled in over 1,553 crores. That's roughly $200 million in just one quarter.
Exactly. That kind of performance is a clear sign that they're doing something right, especially in a market as dynamic as solar energy.
So what's fueling this incredible growth? I mean, is it just that everyone's suddenly going solar, or is there something more to the story?
Well, the demand for solar energy in India is, definitely on the rise. But what's interesting is that Premier Energies hasn't been chasing, international markets. Almost all their revenue, over 97%, comes from right here in India. They've clearly made a strategic decision to focus on the domestic market.
That's interesting. So they're not just riding the wave. They're choosing their battles. But, a booming market doesn't guarantee success, right? What else are they doing to stand out from the crowd?
I'd say one key factor is operational efficiency. They've really streamlined their processes, gotten leaner, which has allowed them to ramp up production to meet that rising demand.
And you could see that reflected in their financials. They've significantly reduced their debt to EBITDA ratio, which basically means they're in a much stronger financial position than they were before. In fact, they're currently net cash positive.
Right, and that financial stability gives them the freedom to be bold, to make those big strategic moves that can really propel a company forward.
And bold they are. They've got some ambitious expansion plans in the works. We're talking about a new 1 gigawatt TOPCon cell line, which, by the way, is a newer, more efficient type of solar cell technology. And on top of that, they're building a 2 gigawatt wafer manufacturing facility.
That's pretty impressive.
It is. And let's not forget their move into aluminum frame manufacturing. They're investing a hefty sum, around 230 crores, or about $30 million, into building a dedicated facility.
Yeah, that's right.
Now, this aluminum frame play is interesting. They're essentially bringing a part of their supply chain in-house, right? It's a classic vertical integration strategy.
Exactly. By controlling more of the process from raw materials to, finished product, they can reduce their reliance on external suppliers, potentially lower their costs, and have tighter control over quality.
And they're estimating that this move could boost their EBITDA margin by another 100 to 150 basis points. That's a significant jump. But they're not stopping there. Remember those international ambitions we were talking about earlier? Well, it seems they're dipping their toes into the U.S. market through a joint venture with a company called Helene.
Yeah, and it's a cautious approach, which is understandable given the recent policy shifts in the U.S. and the overall uncertainty in the global solar market.
Right. They're not putting all their eggs in one basket. They're strategically diversifying their operations while keeping a firm grip on their core market here in India. But speaking of the Indian market, there's another interesting angle to their strategy, something called DCR compliance.
Ah, yes. DCR stands for Domestic Content Requirement. It essentially means that for certain solar projects in India, you need to use locally manufactured components.
And Premier Energies is one of the few companies in India producing DCR-compliant solar cells. They've really positioned themselves well to capitalize on this requirement.
Absolutely. They've got a built-in advantage in a significant portion of the market.
But they're not limiting themselves. They're still importing cells from China for projects that don't require DCR compliance. So they're playing both sides of the field, which gives them flexibility and makes them a more attractive partner for a wider range of customers.
It's a smart strategy, especially in a market as complex and evolving as India's. They're demonstrating both foresight and adaptability.
All right, so we've covered a lot of ground already, from their stellar financial performance to their strategic expansion plans, but there's still so much more to unpack. Let's take a quick pause, and then we'll dive even deeper into what this all means for Premier Energies in their future.
So, we've seen how well Premier Energy is performing. I think what's really fascinating is what this all means for their future. Can they sustain this level of growth? Can they truly become a global player in the solar industry?
Those are the million-dollar questions, aren't they? I mean, it's one thing to dominate your home turf,
Right.
but breaking into international markets it's a whole different ballgame.
Absolutely, yeah. There are a lot of factors at play here. The global solar market is incredibly competitive. You've got established players with deep pockets and vast experience, and then you've got new entrants popping up all over the place, all vying for a slice of the pie.
So how does Premier Energies stand out in this crowded field? What are their strengths, and what are some of the challenges they might face?
Well, one of their biggest strengths is their strong financial position, that net cash positive status,
Yeah.
that we talked about earlier.
Right.
That gives them a lot of flexibility. They can invest in research and development. They can acquire new technologies. They can even weather a few storms if the market takes a downturn.
It's like having a safety net, right? They can take calculated risks without putting the entire company in jeopardy.
Exactly, and they've shown a willingness to innovate, to adopt new technologies like those TOPCon cells. That's crucial in an industry that's constantly evolving.
But let's be realistic. There are bound to be some bumps in the road. What are some of the potential challenges they might encounter?
Well, one obvious challenge is competition, right? As the solar market grows, more players are going to enter the fray. Premier Energies will need to constantly innovate and find ways to differentiate themselves, to stay ahead of the curve.
And they can't just rely on price, can they? They'll need to offer something unique, something that sets them apart from the pack.
Right. They'll need to build a strong brand, focus on quality, and perhaps even specialize in certain types of solar solutions. They could, for instance, become known as the go-to provider for rooftop solar installations or large-scale solar farms.
And then there's the whole issue of government policies and regulations.
Oh, yeah.
Those can change on a dime, especially in a sector like renewable energy, which is so heavily influenced by political priorities.
Absolutely, yeah. They'll need to be agile and adapt quickly to changing policies, both here in India and in any international markets they enter. That's where having a strong management team with a deep understanding of the regulatory landscape becomes crucial.
So it's not just about building solar panels. It's about navigating a complex web of political and economic forces.
Precisely. And let's not forget about geopolitical risks, right? Trade wars, tariffs, and even outright conflicts can disrupt supply chains and throw a wrench into even the best laid plans.
It's a lot to juggle, but from what we've seen so far, Premier Energy seems to have a good head on their shoulders. They're making strategic decisions. They're not afraid to adapt, and they seem to have a clear vision for the future.
Yeah, I agree. They're definitely a company to watch. They've got the potential to become a major force in the global solar market, but it won't be a walk in the park. They'll need to stay sharp, stay innovative, and stay adaptable to thrive in this dynamic and ever-changing industry.
It's almost as if their success hinges on striking a delicate balance. Mm-hmm. On the one hand, they need to maintain their strong position in the Indian market.
Yeah.
On the other hand, they need to expand internationally to truly achieve their global ambitions.
That's exactly right. Yeah. And it's a balancing act that many companies, struggle with. Expanding too quickly can stretch resources thin and dilute focus, but staying too insular can limit growth potential and leave them, vulnerable to market shifts.
It's a tightrope walk for sure, but that's what makes it so fascinating to follow their journey. It's a real world case study in how a company can navigate the complexities of a rapidly growing industry, balance competing priorities, and strive for global dominance.
And it's a reminder that even in a sector as seemingly straightforward as solar energy, there's a lot more going on beneath the surface.
Absolutely. So for our listeners who are curious about Premier Energies, the key takeaway here is this. They're a company with a lot of potential, but their path to success is far from guaranteed. They've got the talent, the resources, and the ambition, but they'll need to navigate a complex and ever-changing landscape to truly reach their full potential.
And for those of us who love to analyze business decisions, Premier Energies is a company worth keeping a close eye on. Their story is just beginning, and it's going to be fascinating to see how it unfolds.
All right. So we've explored the challenges and opportunities facing Premier Energies, but there's one more crucial element we haven't touched on yet. We've talked about their financials, their expansion plans, even their foray into aluminum frames. But what about the human element?
Oh, that's a great point. At the end of the day, a company is only as good as its people.
Exactly. So what do we know about the leadership at Premier Energies? I mean, are they the kind of folks who can steer this ship through rough waters? Can they inspire their team to reach for those ambitious goals?
Well, from what I've gathered, Premier Energies seems to have a strong and experienced leadership team. They've got a CEO with a proven track record in the renewable energy sector, a CFO with a keen eye for financial management, and a team of executives who bring a wealth of experience from various industries.
That's encouraging to hear, because let's face it, even with the best technology and the most brilliant strategy, it all comes down to execution. You need a team that can make things happen, a team that can adapt to changing circumstances, and a team that can inspire others to believe in the vision.
I couldn't agree more. And from what I've observed, Premier Energies seems to have that kind of team in place. They fostered a culture of innovation. They're attracting top talent, and they're empowering their employees to make a difference.
That's a recipe for success, isn't it? When you have a team that's motivated, skilled, and aligned with the company's vision, you can achieve great things.
Absolutely, and I think that's something worth remembering as we evaluate Premier Energies and their prospects for the future. Mm-hmm. It's not just about the numbers; it's about the people behind those numbers.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into Premier Energies, what's the key takeaway for our listeners? What should they be watching for as this company's story continues to unfold? Well, I'd say keep an eye on their their ability to execute their expansion plans, both domestically and internationally. Can they maintain their operational efficiency as they scale up? Can they navigate the complexities of the U.S. market? And can they continue to attract and retain top talent?
Those are all excellent points. And of course, we'll be watching closely to see how they address the challenges we've discussed, from competition to changing regulations to geopolitical risks.
Right. It's going to be a fascinating journey, and I'm confident that Premier Energies will continue to surprise us along the way.
Well, folks, there you have it. Our deep dive into Premier Energies, a company with a bright future, a talented team, and the ambition to become a global leader in solar energy. But as we've learned, their path to success is far from certain. They'll need to navigate a complex and ever-changing landscape, but they seem to have the right ingredients to make it happen. Yeah, it's a reminder that even in a sector as seemingly straightforward as solar energy, there's a lot more going on beneath beneath the surface. It's a story of innovation, ambition, and the power of human ingenuity to tackle some of the world's biggest challenges.
And we'll be here to keep you updated on their progress every step of the way. If you enjoyed this insightful journey into the world of Premier Energies and want more deep dives into fascinating topics, make sure to like and subscribe to Insights That Matters. Until next time, keep those brain cells firing.